Hi there, my name's Jason Williams, and in this video I'm doing the actual repairs on this, and in this video I'm going to be repairing the chassis, which I'll grab the camera in a sec and I'll show you the amount of damage that's going on. So this is what happens, I guess. These things aren't built real well, you know. I have cleaned it most of the time and whatever, but it's rusted out a bit and a few parts are cracked, and I'll show you that now. Yeah, it's a job I didn't want to have to do, but hey, I think I can do it. Alright, this is where the crack is in the chassis. It goes from the bottom. The bottom's a little bit rotten, and it goes up the side here, right next to where the foot peg is, and it's broken through there. So what I'll have to do is make a gusset for in here. Cut a piece of plate out, make a gusset there, and jack it up, take the foot pegs off, jack it up, and make sure I can take the stretch out of it, take the compression, like, you know, so it's a little bit compressed, and then tack that in, weld it up, try to dress it up, and maybe do a fish plate under here, but I'll work that out as I go. So first job, remove the foot pegs on both sides, because I have to do this on both sides. The other side's not cracked, but it will in time. Nice and easy. That's that one out of the way. I'll move over and get the other. So I've got to measure in here, measure the length first, like of where this is gonna, like, is the further I can go, the better. The longer it can be, the better. And I need to, because these are on rubber mounts, I need to make sure I've got sufficient room that this can't ever hit. So if I make that 100 and if that's 150, that's well and truly gonna suffice, isn't it? But I see I need not to be in the way of the bolt heads of other things, so if I go here and go 160 mil long ish. What's 160? What if I want 170? Getting too close. Yep. So if I go 160, yeah, no, I've got to be back. Miss that. So 160 by 40 mil. That way I'm clear of that. I don't want to interfere here. I need it to be slightly gapped. And then I've got to then, you know, cut that to size and then mark the angles. And well, I'll jack it up to mark the angles because I'm sure this is spread a bit. So yeah, I've got 160. Didn't I? Yeah, 160 by 40 mil. I'll measure that out on a piece of plate and cut it. And I'll do it for the same for both sides. I'll go check the other side, make sure it's going to work, because if I can make them both the same, that'll save me a lot of time and effort. Alright, I'm marking out my 160 by 40, so I've got 160 mil long, and this looks like 4 mil, 5 mil plate, 4 mil plate, and I've got 160. These are the 40 mils, and lighten them marks up as I've marked it. Get out the angle grinder and give them a cut, bit of a snip. Alright, so as you can see, I did jack it up here, put a jack stand under here, lowered it back down on it so this tyre's loose, and that compressed that crack a bit so that I'm keeping the true angle of it. Now I've just got a magnet holding it, kind of just eyeballing it up. Needs to be a bit higher. I assume this will take a while to get exactly right. Yeah, I did play around with it. I'm fairly happy with that. So I should be able to get my hand in behind. Not so much. Maybe I'll just have to eye it. And obviously be marking the corner that's coming off, and have to reference here. Draw a line from there to there with the ruler. Cut that section off, then I'll be able to put it in really close and actually get a true angle for that one. And then if that's right, I'll check it, shape it all up, get it right, and then I'll copy it to the other one. And with the first cut done on this little piece, I can sort of put it in here and get the angle right on that. Oh, that's easy. From the corner. Alright, so as you see, I've got this little plate in here, and I've tacked it in a couple of spots just off camera, and then I'm just gonna weld that up, or weld it a bit now. I won't be able to get in behind and weld it. I don't want to anyway, because if I have to cut it out, that'll be a nightmare. It'll be more than strong enough being on this side. It's quite a decent sized gusset. Alright, let's see how this goes. Well, at least the steel hasn't rusted that much that it just fell through. Guess that's got to be a good thing. That's for that kind of a gusset, that's enough. No point me welding that out. That's in there pretty strong, and that's that side. I'll do the gusset on the other side. That one's slightly different. I've had to make a cut in it so that, but you'll see all that for the brake line. All right, next one. All right, and so on this side, you'll see that I've cut a section made for this brake line to go through, and you think, you know, if I weld up here, weld in there, that's then the weak spot, right? But that's all right, because I'm going to, once this is welded in, remove the magnet obviously, and then weld another piece of metal on the top going inwards, and that'll help give it a bit more strength. And on the deck, on the concrete, I've got a sheet of metal so that hold sign up the wrong way so it can't pop the concrete, the splatter. I'll have to look at what I can do to plate underneath. This is going to be a bit tricky because I assume a lot of the steel is quite rotten, rusted, so maybe I'll just, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll play with some ideas about what I can use there. If not, I'll look at it and, you know, I'll weld this in and I'll keep looking at it, see what the crack looks like. It might be, I won't be able to weld that crack up because that's not very wise. So I might be able to plate the side. Yeah, I reckon I'll be able to do that because you don't want to run weld vertically on any chassis type setup because of the way the force is, that creates a weak spot. So I'll be able to figure it out. Alright, I'm not going to record it, but I'm going to make that and weld it in. I'll show you when it's done and see what happens. Alright, so with it welded in, the little plate up top's still a bit hot. The welds look a bit hairy going. I looked underneath. I was going to do it, and then I saw how bad the chassis was, and I was like, yeah, nah, if I was going to do that, I'm rebuilding the chassis, or I'm finding a second-hand good nick one. So that'll do for now. That's that side done, and that exhaust looking a little bit worse for wear too, isn't it? That's right. That's easy to replace. And in there, that one's done also. All right, I'll give these a lick of paint and finish up. All right, bit of etch primer. Not that it's really going to help with that much, stopping it rust, because there's bare metal everywhere. Better paint the spot that yeah, and also get in from the back. Ooh. All right, so that's going to have to be it for the chassis. You know, after inspecting under here, I need a new chassis, but hey, this will be okay for now. I'll give these a bit of anti-seize, bit of nickel anti-seize. I don't have any copper anti-seize. I have nickel because, quite obviously, I used to work on the wharves and working on the ocean on boats and stuff. So nickel anti-seize it is. Alright, well that's it for this little video of patching up the chassis. That's it's a bit of a bummer that I can't do that. The chassis is a little bit too old to be warranting repairing that, so it'll be okay, like it's fine as long as I don't do any big jumps. I mean, I'm too old for that anyway now. Because I wouldn't do that, no. And anyway, so a second-hand chassis or new one, or however it works out, whether I find one or whether I make a new one, I highly doubt it. That's a lot of messing around. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this one. That's that patched up. It's back on the deck, obviously. The rear was already done. I've done this in a previous, number of years ago. I'd fixed the back up there, and just go easy on it. Don't go silly. Yeah. Famous last words. All right, cool. Thank you very much for watching, and I will aspire to see you in the next one. Cheers.